Now, Todd, can you try to tell me exactly what happened?
2 of the hijackers were up near first class. A third one was in the back in the coach section. The 2 up front got into the cockpit somehow. They were shouting. The third one in the back says he has a bomb. It looks like a bomb. He's got it strapped to his waist with a red belt of some kind.
So is the door to the cockpit open?
No, the hijackers shut it behind them.
Has anyone been injured?
Yes, they killed 1 passenger up in first class. There's been lots of shouting. We don't know if the pilots are dead or alive. A stewardess told me that they took the pilot and co-pilot, took them out of the cockpit, and they may have been wounded.
Where is the third hijacker now, Todd?
He's near the back of the plane. They forced most of the passengers up in first class, but there are 14 of us back here, and 5 of us are flight attendants. He hasn't seen that I slipped into this pantry to grab the phone. Jesus, hopeless.
Todd, are you okay? Please tell me what's happening.
Everybody is really scared. Passengers with cell phones made calls to relatives. A guy talked to his wife before the hijacking started. She told him that hijackers had sent 2 planes into the World Trade Center. Is that true? In case I don't make it through this, would you please do me a favor and call my wife and my family and tell them how much I love them? You have the same name as my wife, Lisa. We've been married for 10 years. She's pregnant with our 3rd child. We have 2 sons. David, he's 3. Andrew, he's 1. Tell them that their daddy is so proud of them. Lisa?
I'll tell them, Todd, I promise.
I gotta get back to the group. If I can get back, I will.
Todd, please leave this line open. Are you still there?
It's getting pretty rough up here. They're flying real erratic. We're not gonna make it out of this alive. I want you to hear this. I've talked with the others, and we have decided we will not be part of these hijackers' suicidal plot.
Todd, what are you going to do?
4 of us are going to rush the hijacker with the bomb. After we take him out, we'll go to the cockpit. A stewardess is getting some boiling water ready to throw at the hijackers at the controls. We'll get them, and we'll take them out. Lisa, will you do one last thing for me?
Yes, what is it?
Will you pray with me? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forget our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
We can't wait for the authorities.
Everyone is running to first class. I've got to go. Bye.
Are we ready? Let's roll.
Through blurred eyes, we find strength and courage to soar beyond the moment.
We look to the future, knowing we can never forget the past.
In tribute to the eternal spirit of the innocent victims of these crimes and the selfless courage shown by both private citizen and public servants, we dedicate this monument.
We remember the courageous firefighters, police officers, emergency personnel, and men and women who unselfishly gave their lives while aiding their fellow man.
These valiant souls exemplify the true character of this great nation.
Their unity and resilience during this time of distress defined American heroism for future generations.
They're firefighters,
Sunday school teachers and baseball fans,
ballerinas and flight attendants,
Fathers.
and sons, ordinary people.
And everyday heroes.
Their lives ended September 11, 2001.
Betty Ong.
Flight attendants.
died on board American Airlines Flight 11, September 11th, 2001.
10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Seems like yesterday. These last few years, we've been trying to put this whole 9/11 thing behind us, but with the 10th anniversary coming up, it's hard to ignore. The emotions are still really raw. I guess it takes a long time to get over something like this.
Chris Hanley.
Financial services salesman.
Died in Windows of the World restaurant at the top of One World Trade Center, September 11, 2001.
I thought I owed it to him. You know? You gotta say, hey, let me hear your last moments.
All right, just keep the windows open. It's going to be a while because there's a fire going on downstairs.
We can't open the windows unless we break them.
Okay, just sit tight. We're on the way.
Okay. Please hurry.
Hurry, please. Well, it's nice he said please.
Jim
Gartenberg.
Commercial real estate salesman. Father to Nicole.
And Jamie.
Died inside his office in One World Trade Center, September 11th, 2001.
It really does prove to me what an amazing and brave person he really was.
Everyone should have someone like him in their life. Someone who is so selfless and so brave and so kind. I think we're a happy family, and I think beyond that, we're a very strong family, given all that we've been through together.
If he were here, I wish he was here with me. And if he were here, I'd probably tell him about me and that I love him and just to thank him for everything.
I love you, Daddy.
Brian Sweeney.
U.S. Navy fighter pilot.
Died aboard United Airlines Flight 175, September 11, 2001.
He enjoyed life more than anyone I've ever known. He was one of the most incredible people I ever knew, or ever will know.
Peter Hansen.
Member of Joel Barlow's high school class of 1987.
Along with his wife, Sue Kim, and 2.5-year-old daughter, Christine.
Died on board United Airlines Flight 175, September 11, 2001.
The terrorists, they took away our dreams. They took away our future. Christine was the sweetest little girl. She was love personified.
Todd Beamer.
Sunday school teacher and Chicago Cubs fan.
Husband to Lisa.
Father to David and Andrew.
Died aboard United Airlines Flight 93, September 11, 2001.
Todd was an ordinary guy. He was extraordinary to me and to his family, but to the world he was ordinary. And like any ordinary guy getting on a plane that day in a business suit, he was able to do extraordinary things. People live their lives and don't leave a legacy of faith and hope and love that Todd has left. We're doing mostly what we would be doing otherwise. There are questions and hard times, and we'll be dealing with grief for a long time. But we will deal with it.
Sandra Bradshaw.
Flight attendant. Died on United Airlines Flight 93, September 11th, 2001.
She was a beautiful lady. Her whole personality drew me to her. And I miss her so very much. There are certain people that are just made for other people, and I guess, well, Sandy was made for me. William Kelly.
Bloomberg LP employee.
Died in One World Trade Center, September 11, 2001.
Over time, Colleen and I have talked about not overvaluing those last few messages either. That really trying to balance the value of the messages that he gave us all throughout his life. And that's what's really important. We're never going to know exactly what happened, and I think for myself, I've resolved in that. I know he probably died the exact same way he lived his life. He died with honor. He died with courage. He died a gentleman. And he died with a lot of love and a lot of faith, because that's how he lived.
On September 11th, they became unexpected soldiers in the war on terror.
They say we will never forget.
But we never heard their stories.
Or the memories of their families.
2,977. More than a number or a name on a memorial.
Each of the fallen represent a life lived.
Loved ones who grieve.
An empty chair at the table.
Today we honor those who will never again be able to say to a daughter or son, I love you.
And the daughters who won't have a family member to walk them down the aisle.
Today we remember the living stories from before September 11, 2001.
Because those stories are the real, lasting messages all the lost ones left behind.
And now that we know their stories,
Happy birthday.